Happy Sunday. How you doing this morning? I'm in a great mood. I hope you are too. How was your Saturday night? Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it with good friends. Uh, we did. Uh, Couple things. I heard a little bit more about Sanford's last video with his mule car. He was showing holes drilled in it, and there's a reason for an offset, and there's a reason why one particular hole happens to be in the frame connector. That way you can draw a center line to where you're going to set up your drivetrain so your pinion and snubber is directly in line with, you know. And then I heard a few comments. I guess he's already going Woody Woodpecker crazy on that thing, cutting shit out and making holes and whatever. Like I says, dude, what the fuck are you doing? That's a unibody. You know, you're cutting all that shit out. That thing's going to start fucking twisted and moving around all over the place. You know, engineers know what they're doing, although Sanford disagrees. He feels his Imagineering is far more important and safe than, you know, what engineers come up with when they are designing a unibody. Everything is there for a reason, not according to Sanford. He just goes wild cutting shit out. Well, then again, you know, when you can't make horsepower, you got to rely on lightening up a car. And that's all he can do, really, is get a car as light as it can, because we all know what kind of horsepower he produces, right? That's just do it. I guess now he's cutting out part of the firewall and the lower section. He says, dude, that thing's going to start fucking twisting, and it's not good. And then he says, another guy, just a little bit of the swing green, cold. This ain't helping much either in the morning. But I'm still at that fucking half pack a day. I will never get back down to those 3 a day. It's my own damn fault I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I just don't want to. That's what it comes down to. If I really wanted to, I would. I just really don't want to. I'm kind of happy at this half a pack a day. And how I'm justifying my bullshit is by saying, well, at least I'm not smoking 2 packs a day like I was for a long time. You know what I mean? I'm telling it like it is. I just really don't have the desire, the motivation to drive to want to get back down to those 3 a day. Says, and then the best part is pickle sniffers. Once again, stroking the fuck out of his ego and narcissism. He says, Brian, one guy says to him, you're a walking encyclopedia. Well, my smoke eater just kicked on. Says, and Brian, I think some of his pickle sniffers maybe should go back to school and get a fucking GED. The spelling and grammar is fucking horrible. I know, I've seen it myself at times. You know, you're a walking encyclopedia, he says. He got walking right. Well, is only one letter A. You got walking. Now you're, in that context, it's you are, right? Y-O-U-R-E. Y-O-U-R, a walking encyclopedia. He says, Brian, encyclopedia, the way he spelled it, it looked like that medical term, encephalogram, some shit. He says it was so, just so mangled. He says, I kind of figured out he meant encyclopedia. I had to figure out what he was trying to, what he meant. Because if you read it as it was, it made no fucking sense. You know? Looked like some sort of fucking medical term. But anyway, I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. You know, by popular demand, you know, I'm not bragging, you know. I have 13 loyal, faithful, loving, trusting, devoted Uncle Brian groupies. And let's face it, without you guys, I'm nothing. I would not be Uncle Brian. I would just be Brian Cabral, another fucking nobody on here, you know what I mean? I have you to thank for all my fame. When my 13 Uncle Brian groupies speak, I listen. I respond. I feel it's my moral obligation, along with being an honor, to reciprocate the love and affection that they show for me by doing for them things that they want from me. You know what I mean? My friendships were a 2-way street, unlike with Sanford, you know what I mean? Uh, and I've been asked on occasion to get back into writing more of my Uncle Brian's Sanford's Greatest Hits. I already have my Volume 1, my Volume 2, and I've been asked to do a Volume 3. So I already started working on a song. For those of you that are new to this, you don't recall, many of you know from the beginning, I'll give you a quick recap and then I'll bring you up to date with my latest song I'm in the process of writing. And then I'm going to do something to help out Uncle Sanford before I wrap this video up. As you know, my Volume 1, where it was rock and roll, heavy metal. Volume 1 included, Rolling Stones. Hey, you, get off of my track. Hey, you, get off of my track. Hey, you, get off of my track. Spitting out axles, we don't want you back. Then we had Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the junkyard. We got what you need. You don't have to spend any money to get you all the speed. And of course, take me down to the storage locker city where the cars are junk and they run real shitty. Oh, won't you please take me down? And then who can forget Uncle Brian's Sanford Greatest Hits Christmas collection with I'm Dreaming of a 4-door shitbox, just like the one that Sanford has, where the oil trail glistens. Pickle sniffers listen as Sanford says how great he is. And who can forget Sanford, the bullshit reindeer, had a very junky car, and if you ever saw it, you would know it don't go far. All of the other racers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Sanford grease up all their track again. Anyway, now, I was thinking, for some reason, Beverly Hillbillies, they packed it in and left Bug Tussle and headed to the big city in Beverly Hills. In their case, it was because Jed struck oil, struck it rich. It reminded me, Sanford kind of did the opposite of that. He left the big city of New York to head off to the fucking hills, In his case, it was due to, he had some issues, with failed bankrupt businesses and creditors coming after him. And then he had his other issues like losing his driver's license revoked for life, being involved in his flipping and parting out of cars and motorcycles, VIN tags being swapped, and other activities that in some people's minds they could call it a chop shop operation. He's got the law coming after him. So he had a good reason too for wanting to hightail it out of New York, for creditors and the law caught up to him. And it made me think maybe I could write a theme song for that, Now, it's in its early works. It's far from being complete, but I'm going to offer my 13 Pickle Sniffers the chance to get in on the action here. And not only will you get a piece of the glory, you will get a piece of the money that goes along with it. I'm sure that this time I'll get a recording contract worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And because I will give you writing credits along with it, not only will you get a piece of the money from my big recording contract, when I'm up on stage accepting my Grammy, I'll mention your name on national television and give you the credit you deserve. You know what I mean? So feel free to add in any lyrics to continue on with this song that's bound to be another #1. Uncle Brian's Greatest Sanford Hits, you know what I mean? Just like the rest of them. So I'll start it out. I'll go as far as I can. And then let's see where it goes from here. Jump in and let's build this hit together, okay? Come and listen to a story about a man named Sanford. Went to Tennessee, it was safer than New Bedford. Went down there, he was looking for some fools. Found some pickle sniffers that will follow all his rules. Dummies they are. As far as I got. Now, I'll wrap this up because I'm in such a great fucking mood. I'm going to help Sanford out. See, and he's talked about many ways to not have to spend money with everyday household items you have in your home, or you can find in a hardware store. Instead of having to buy, the right parts for your car, and they're much cheaper. Hold on a second. I feel like I got to sneeze. I got a tissue here. Hold on. I don't want to sneeze on camera and get boogies all that. Sanford would do that. He'd probably burp and fart too, but that ain't me. That's better. I still feel like I got to sneeze though. Give me a second. I still got a hair that's tickling. Yeah, I'm getting all bushy for the winter. I don't like shaving anyway. I ain't gonna shave no more. I let my fucking hair grow out, and in the spring I buzz it, so I don't give a fuck. Okay, where was I? Sanford already is shown on that Blue Road Runner at his house, so you don't need a fuel line. He has a green, god damn it, it's fucking tickling me. He has a green garden hose for his fuel line. I mentioned this already, but it's worth repeating. You know, don't go spend money. You got a old garden hose laying around, hook that up. He's got to hang it from his gas tank. You can see it under the Rick water. Tacked up, being held up to a shackle with a zip tie. I guess he ran out of duct tape. But wait a minute, isn't it? He said duct tape's not allowed at a shop. Didn't he have some kid there early on that was doing something out of the goodness of his heart, trying to help out? And he used duct tape on a hose, and Sanford blew a fucking head gasket. Threw the kid out of his shop. Made a video bashing him, humiliating him, you know, like he did to Lamb Chop. Like he did to Stubby. You know, he's okay with doing that shit to people, you know. He already talked one time how you can use, you know, that clear tubing for aquariums from the air pump to a treasure chest. It pumps the air and it fills up, makes a big bubble and goes, you know, cool looking, right? Or other air stones in your water. You can use that for something instead of going and buy the right hose. He already talked about how you can take, you know, flexible plumbing hose for under your sink running from your water main up to your faucets, you know, whether they're, you know, nylon, PVC, Teflon. And all you're going to do is a lot of unnecessary cutting and getting the right size fittings on the end, and whether you can clamp it, whether you got to get it crimped, you know, so you can run it from your fuel pump to your carburetor, you know, do a lot of unnecessary shit so that you can save money and not have to buy the right fuel line for it, you know what I mean? Gave me an idea. I don't know if guys still do it to this day, but at one time, a lot of guys that had race cars, these cars had no exhaust, they were always on a trailer, open headers, slicks, and they were just taken to a track, raced, put back on a trailer, and brought home. They weren't street cars. You needed an exhaust to be street legal and all that. You know, a street strip car, yeah, we'd open our headers, pop our slicks on, race them, and then, you know, we drove them around. We enjoyed that car. Sanford doesn't drive his cars. Firstly, they're not fucking dependable. Let's get real. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, he doesn't care about dependability, drivability, whether they're even fucking safe. You know, he doesn't care about that because his cars don't get driven. That's why he doesn't have to change oil in his car for 10 years, because it sat there for 10 fucking years, you know? That's why he says you don't need to change your oil. Don't go by Sanford. He lives in a whole different fucking world, in the legend of his mind. He is so out of touch with reality and what real car guys actually do with their cars. They drive the fucking things, unlike him, that they're parked props. You know what I mean? Don't go by him. But I thought maybe, and it would give him some great content. You know, what a lot of guys would do is they'd hook up their collectors, no exhaust, but they would add an extension to their collectors. They would add some pipe. I don't know for sure, so I don't want to sound like an idiot and tell you exactly the reason for it, but I had heard different things about. You want to maintain as much heat as you can on your headers. It helps burn off more and more of the spent gases that's being evacuated from your engine. Technically, it's not exhaust, it's evacuation. You're evacuating all your spent gases. And the more heat you can maintain in your evacuation system, your header system, it helps. What it does for performance, I do not know. But I know it was a popular thing guys did at one time. Whether they still do it today, I do not know. But I remember seeing it around, and guys, you know, some of them had exhaust pipe running almost halfway down under the car, almost under their ass, where they were sitting in the driver's seat. No mufflers, no nothing. For whatever reason, the longer the length of your collectors, some say the better it is for whatever reason. I'll leave it at that. And I was thinking about something when I took a dump this morning. I'll tell you, it was one hell of a dump, but I'm not bragging. And I'm wiping and wiping, and I got right to the end of the roll. It's a good thing I had an extra roll of toilet paper. I got right to the end, and I got to the cardboard too. Toilet paper's on. I'm looking at it. Well, I'm setting up a new roll of toilet paper on there, to finish, what needed to be done. And I'm looking at it. And I said, wow, it's kind of like an exhaust pipe, It's got a pretty good diameter. Gave me an idea. Maybe Sanford could do a video on how using an empty cardboard toilet paper roll as extensions on the collectors. Yeah, I think that should fit. You know what I mean? How you don't have to go out and buy a piece of exhaust pipe and have to cut it and all that to add it onto your collectors to weld it on. You can use one of these. It's cheap. And then he could show off his welding skills on how he's the only person that's able to weld cardboard onto steel. You know what I mean? And if he wants, I'll even send him this one. I'll pay for the shipping and everything. I'll send this to Sanford if he plans on keeping that Killer Badass Slant 6 that came out of, pulling a knife from out of space. When the rest of the body went to a scrapyard, it's being turned into cat food cans as we speak. I'll give him this one. Or if he decides to put a V8 in it, he's going to build another big badass, V8 somewhere along the line and pop that in. Or he's going to have two headers. He needs another one. He'll already have one from me. I'm already helping him. When he goes and takes a mean dump after going to the Taco Bell all-you-can-eat breakfast burrito fest for only $1.99, let's face it, he don't like to spend money, and he's there unloading, and he goes through a whole fucking roll of toilet paper, ends up with another one of these, then he'll have two, one for each header. You can show people how to save money, and once again show off his welding skills with that stick welder, unless he still has it in that battery that he's rejuvenating. We might have to take it out of the battery, get all the acid off it, because the acid would eat into the cardboard. You don't want that shit to happen. You could take out a stick welder and show how he's the only one here on YouTube that can weld cardboard to steel. And you probably get a shitload of views and make a ton of fucking money in case he's not selling too many hats and t-shirts these days. You know what I'm saying? See, Uncle Brian has a fucking heart. I care. Anyway, hope your Saturday night was good. We had a good time. The band wasn't too great at Knuckleheads. But it was good. We had the whole crew. It's not, people have lives, things come up, the old ladies. And anyway, it was good to have the whole crew and all the old ladies together. The band, just not that type of music, top 40 shit. And could have been worse. They could have played shit by Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift, and all fucking hell would have broken loose in there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hope you had a great Saturday night. Hope you had fun. Hope you have a great day today. I'm not sure what's up with us today, but something will happen. One way or the other. I think it'll be okay, and see you tomorrow.